because on invitation of Judge and Goodluck Foundation, today is its annual lecture, which we normally attend. That's why we're beginning today.
Apart from that, what other party? Do you have any party affiliation you want to check up to you? We know that you're in the Labour Party. Labour Party is having
I'm strictly here for this lecture today. But I'm sure you'll be seeing me in Benin soon.
Oh, of course, you read the topic of the lecture. And you know what is centering
on. What's the topic of it?
It's talking about leadership, education, and
yes, because what we're doing, like I said yesterday, that was supposed to be a democracy day. That we, especially at this time, everybody in Nigeria who considers himself a leader should focus on what we're going to do to the poor. The poor in this country, or those less privileged, have suffered enough. And unless we focus on them, we're wasting our time.
So on national issue now, the national minimum wage has really generated a lot of reactions and all that. So what's your take on the...
My take on it's part of what I'm saying. Must care about the poor. We have taken a lot from the system. Now it's time for everybody to give back. We cannot be talking about what we're going through today when so many people don't know where the next meal is coming from. That should be our focus completely. And issue of minimum wage, we are signatories to so many boundaries that can guide us in setting minimum wage. There's a minimum somebody has to earn to fall below the extreme poverty. We are signatories that we are pulling people out of extreme poverty. So we should look at that. It's there. There's minimum that people have to earn to be able to keep their family. These are the things that should guide us. It is something that is very simple. And if you want to know what I said about salaries of minimum wage, it's there in my manifesto where I said where we're going to do it. But our focus now is pulling people out of poverty, making things work. But we just go to the lecture is about leadership, purposeful leadership. Thank you.
I would also like to recognize here with us the former governor of Anambra State and former presidential candidate who is here with us, His Excellency Peter Obi. Is here. About to pay. Honorable members of this, I would like to at this point specially recognize
Your Excellency, the former President of Benin, Thomas Boniaye, Your Excellencies, former Vice President of Zambia, former Vice President of Nigeria, Your Highnesses, traditional leaders, deputy governors, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by saying that in the formative years of their development. During my tenure, my government intentionally set aside funds and heavily invested in education-based infrastructure. We built classrooms across the country, and already existing classrooms were further improved to enable them to accommodate more students, and this we did in collaboration with local leadership and communities. We went further to establish community-based management schools, where community-based organizations and parent-teacher associations played a critical role in mobilizing resources and managing schools, as well as carrying out an oversight role. This ensured that our children did not have to travel far to get a good education. As a government, I initiated the 100% transition from primary to secondary level education. This meant that all Kenyan children who left primary school would find a place in a high school in order to continue with their education. This program ensured that our children from across the country got equal exposure to learning opportunities regardless of their socio-economic background. To further even the playing field, we invested considerably in the digitization of the education sector. Digital literacy was a key priority for Kenya to ensure that our children were not left out of the global village. ICT laboratories and centers were set up by government to enhance learning environment and digital literacy. Our vision and goal was to ensure that every Kenyan child had the same opportunity, and we embarked on a program to give all children an equal fighting chance in the fast-paced and ever-evolving global village. Our two projects involve re-energizing and refocusing of the education curriculum and improving digital literacy. This also led to a multi-pronged rollout of ensuring that every single primary school in our republic was connected to the electric grid, and where the grid was not, was powered through solar and other such technology. To achieve this, and also to further enhance our digital program, every government-owned primary school student was to receive a tablet to bridge the gap of digital literacy between urban students and children in rural areas. We went further to introduce a competency-based curriculum designed to equip our children with skills and to give them a hands-on approach in problem-solving techniques through assessments made in every stage of their learning. This curriculum ensures that the child's talent is identified and therefore nurtured, presenting them with the opportunity to cast their nets wide when it comes to a selection of a profession. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I share our experiences in Kenya to illustrate the importance of embracing functional education and the place of political leadership in making this dream a reality. Political goodwill is very key in implementing strategies and mobilizing resources to unlock the potential that lies within or outside our continent for sustainable growth and prosperity. As a continent, we must look at our curriculum in comparison with the changing global needs and embrace an education system that aims to foster critical thinking, innovation, and creativity, as this will bolster the continent to unmeasurable heights. It is our task as leaders of this great continent, therefore, to empower our young and youth with the tools that will shape and prepare them to be great and active participants in the global economy. It is equally our duty to ensure that our young people become effective agents of positive change in their communities. We must therefore invest in education to ensure inclusivity, diversity, and equal opportunity for all our children. This will help foster a conducive environment for innovation and growth. As African leaders gather here today, past, present, and from the of course I heard possible future leaders, let us take up this task with the seriousness that it deserves. We need to do this in order to prepare our leaders of tomorrow. The deliberations that will be held here today must by all means provide a roadmap, develop strategies and policies that will set our continent on a winning trajectory. We need to understand that the example that we set will serve to teach our precious children who look up to us with expectation and anticipation. Rhetoric and empty promises and lack of tangible actions by leaders of today only serve to destroy our future. We must therefore lead by example, embodying values of honesty, humility, and servant leadership. We must work on eradicating corruption and the mismanagement of public resources, as they are the cancer that stifles progress and destroys public trust. The composition of this audience today comprises highly educated men and women who have sought wisdom from across the globe for the benefit of our beloved continent. We are therefore charged with the responsibility to ensure that the youth in our respective communities and countries can also benefit from quality education right here in our mother continent, Africa. Let us acknowledge our challenges and find ways to do more and be more than just famous names. Let us aspire to be the great builders of Africa's future, and that can only be achieved if we invest in our education and we invest in our children, thereby investing in our future. Let us intentionally empower our young people, intentionally allow ourselves to be held accountable as we carry our duty to our people. Unity is our strength. Africa has a lot of potential, and we have the key to usher the continent into an era of prosperity, peace, and sustainable development. My hope is that the deliberations we begin today will be the step we need in our journey to build the Africa we dream of, an Africa that will secure its place in the global arena by empowering our youth through education. Not just an education, but an education that will make them competitive, encourage them to be innovative, and to embrace creativity. As I conclude, let me take this opportunity to congratulate the Governor of Edo State, His Excellency Goodluck Obaseki. I congratulate you for the enormous strides that you and your government have taken to further the education of the children of Edo State. Well done to you and your team. Congratulations once again. And may you keep up with this great work. May God bless you all. May God bless beautiful Edo. May God bless Nigeria. May God bless Africa and our children and our I thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
One more round of applause for His Excellency. We will next have a goodwill message.
Goodluck. I'd like to thank you. Thank you for inviting me to attend this great ceremony, not only for Nigeria, but also of Africa and the world. I'd like to salute respect my mom, the former first lady, my nanny, please, it may be my best friend in the world. Because our destiny have crossed since we were at the top of our group state to Nigeria and Benin Republic. I told him, but I used to tell him and tell to the other president of Nigeria, but Benin is the first citizen of Nigeria. We are learning and we want to be nice. Why? Yeah. I thank you very much. I'd like to greet also Mr. Goodluck, my sister, and the others of the foundation. Thank you for what you are doing to support my friend, because the international unity of the foundation now is known by everybody in the world. I believe that he knows me, the president. He is a humanist. For Africa 2063, what we want were stability, security, and shared governance. We can keep these without education, which is a lever for democracy and economic development. I welcome this initiative of the foundation, whose national legitimacy is now established. Thank you, dear friend. Thank you, Moon, the former First Lady. Thank you, the staff of the foundation again. Allow me to share some thoughts on the importance of this day. As leaders, we have a responsibility to ensure that our education systems are inclusive, equitable, responsive, and local realities. A functional education is what that prepares our young people to be engaged citizens, competent professionals, and ethical leaders. It is the engine of economic, social, and political progress. Likewise, creating effective political leadership is crucial to achieving African development aspirations. We need leaders of vision, integrity, and courage, capable
constantly driven ethnic and religious division to serve the common goals. These leaders must be prepared to sacrifice their personal interests for the good of the nation, like emblematic figures such as Kwame Nkrumah. Our dialogue today provides a very valuable opportunity to reflect on the issues, share experiences, and develop concrete strategies to strengthen our democratic institutions and foster inclusive development. I'm convinced that the exchange and conclusions of this dialogue will contribute significantly to our collective quest for a better future for our Africans. I would like to warmly thank all the special guests and experts who will enrich our discussions with their insightful perspective. In conclusion, dear friends, I would like to reiterate my wish for every success for this dialogue. May it open new paths and bring us closer to our common goals of peace, stability, security, prosperity, and progress for our continent, our dear Africa. With my most distinguished feelings, may God bless you forever. My friend. May God bless our great Nigeria. May God bless Edo State. May God bless Benin City. May God bless Benin Republic. We are thinking about how we can strengthen and renew the new, I can let you say, the new Upper Benin. I'm sure
Excellency Elder Sharif Oborewori, the Executive Governor of Delta States, the Big House, brothers and sisters who are all
I'm deeply honored to be here as a special guest, and I extend my warmest thanks to the Foundation for inviting me to participate in this significant event. As we gather here in the historic city of Benin, the heartbeat of Edo, I'm reminded of the vibrant spirit and rich heritage that our nation holds. This event named functional education and effective political leadership as a panacea to Africa's growth and development touches on subjects that are not only close to my heart, but are also critical to the future of our great continent. Education and leadership, the two pillars upon which any thriving society must be built. When we speak of functional education, we envisage an education system that equips our youth with the skills, knowledge, and values needed to navigate the complexities of the modern world. We envisage classrooms where critical thinking is nurtured, creativity is encouraged, and where the seeds of leadership are sown early. Effective political leadership on the other hand, requires more than just academic prowess. It demands integrity, vision.
Election where we're not going to have glitches, where the result will be announced as pronounced, and people respect it. And you did that. May God Almighty continue to keep you for this country, for that sake. Yesterday, as president, he sacrificed a lot. Nobody has contributed again in this republic that I know to what you did in education. Because you know, like the minister said, education remains the most important, fundamental for development. It is shown that the more educated a country is, the more developed. And we know that is what is keeping Nigeria today. We're very low. I look at Kenya when the president was talking, they're medium. They started with low because Ghana, everybody, all gone to medium with men low. So we need to deal with the issue of education. The crisis we're facing in Nigeria today, especially in the north, are people we abandoned uneducated yesterday. I think we can leave them in poverty. We have to invest in education and pull poor people out of poverty. If all of us have to sleep with our eyes closed, unless we put the poor out of poverty by educating them and giving them, everybody will be aware of you. That is what we need to do our own. You did that. That is why you should have university in all the states of Nigeria. Thank you for that. And I hope that what minister said here, which is measurable, can be measured and can be achieved. The time of